What's happening, everybody? I'm Todd Tanner. Welcome to Wrestling News Now. It's part two, profiling the one and only the son of a plumber, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. As I continue this story, before I begin, don't forget to check out Wrestling News Now and subscribe by pushing that red button when you see it pop up on the screen. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a brand new video, you will be notified. Well, let's get right down to it. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Part 2. Rhodes was a three-time NWA Rhodes was a three-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And during his time in Jim Crockett Promotions, later known as WCW, he was a United States Heavyweight Champion, a multi-time World Television, World Tag Team, and World Six-Man Tag Team Champion. He also won many regional championships and is one of 7 men inducted into each of the Hall of Fames: WWE, WCW, Professional Wrestling, and Wrestling Observer Newsletter Halls of Fame. His sons Dustin and Cody both have pursued careers in professional wrestling, performing for WWE and AEW. Rhodes was married to Sandra from 1965 to 1975. In 1978, he married Michelle Rubino. The couple were married for 37 years until his death in 2015. He had 4 children: Dustin, Kristen, Teal, and Cody Runnels. He had 6 grandchildren: Dakota, the daughter of Dustin and his ex-wife Terry Boatwright; Dalton and Dalen, children of Christine and her husband Don Ditto; Kaylin and Maris, children of Teal and her husband Kevin Gurgel; and Liberty, daughter of Cody and his wife Brandy. He also had a brother Larry, and a sister Connie. He played baseball for West Texas State University. In later years, Rhodes suffered from kidney failure. On January 10, 2015, paramedics responded to Rhodes' home in Orlando, Florida. After getting a call reporting that he had fallen, they drove him to a nearby hospital where he died the next day at the age of 69 from the effects of kidney failure. Rhodes was cremated after his death, and his ashes were spread in November 2015 by his son Dustin on a ranch that Rhodes loved to visit. At the 2015 Money in the Bank pay-per-view event, a 10-bell salute was given in honor of Rhodes, with the entire WWE roster and the McMahon family on the entrance ramp. The next night on Raw, they honored him with a video tribute and a special After Raw on WWE Network. At the NXT tapings following his death, he was honored with another 10-bell salute. Rhodes has been called one of the best wrestlers in history. Praising his charisma and interview skills, his Hard Times promo has been labeled as one of the best interviews in pro wrestling. According to Jim Cornette, his NWA World title reigns were of short length, since he wasn't what NWA was looking for in a champion, but not winning the title would hurt his credibility. Since Rhodes worked as a backstage producer in WCW, he helped several wrestlers with their careers. Diamond Dallas Page, Missy Hyatt had praised Rhodes' influence in their career. During his later years, he became a trainer in WWE's development territory, NXT, where several wrestlers like Kevin Owens, Becky Lynch, and the tag team FTR praised his lessons. In August of 2015, WWE's NXT introduced the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, a tag team tournament in honor of Rhodes. The tournament has been held annually since, with a women's version added in 2021. All Elite Wrestling named their GO position, or best known as the Gorilla position, the Dusty position, after him on October 16, 2019. In the promo room of the WWE Performance Center, where Rhodes would teach promo lessons, There is a puppet of Rhodes hanging on the equipment, symbolizing that he is still there, watching the students. Let's talk about Dusty's championship. 50th State Big Time Wrestling. He was the NWA North American Heavyweight Champion, the Hawaii version, on one occasion. In Big Time Wrestling, the NWA World Tag Team Championship, one time with Dick Murdoch. In Central States Wrestling, he was the NWA Central States Champion one time, the NWA North American Team Championship, he won that one time with Dick Murdoch. Championship Wrestling from Florida. I used to watch that a lot growing up. Man, I'm telling you, that Championship Wrestling, quote unquote, was the real deal. They made it seem believable. Matter of fact, go out and check Florida Championship Wrestling. You might actually enjoy it. Sometimes it's good just to reminisce and go back in time and see what they did versus what's happening today. So in the Championship Wrestling from Florida, the NWA Brass Knuckles Championship he won on 2 occasions, the NWA Florida Bohemian Championship one time, the NWA Florida Global Tag Team Championship with Magnum TA one time, the NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship 12 times. Wow. The NWA Florida Tag Team Championships 4 times with Dick Murdoch, 1 with Dick Slater, 1 with Bobo Brazil, I talked about him earlier, and Andre the Giant on 1 occasion. The NWA Florida Television Championship 2 times he won. He also won the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship on 10 different occasions. The NWA United States Tag Team Championship with who? Bugsy McGraw and Blackjack Mulligan. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship he won 1 time. He won the NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship 1 time, the NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship Tournament in 1978, the NWA United States Tag Team Championship Tournament in 1980 with Bugsy McGraw. George Trigos Luther's Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. He was inducted in the class of 2017. And going down to Georgia Championship Wrestling, he was the NWA Georgia Heavyweight Championship. He won that title 1 time. He also won the NWA National Heavyweight Championship 1 time. He won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship 1 time. Also, he was the winner of the Cadillac Cup in 1984. The International Wrestling Alliance in Australia. Rhodes won the IWA World Tag Team Championship 1 time with Dick Murdoch. Now let's go down to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling with Jim Crockett Promotions and World Championship Wrestling. The NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship 1 time with Buff Bagwell. He won the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship 1 time, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship 1 time, the NWA World 6-Man Tag Team Championship 2 times with the Road Warriors, the NWA World Tag Team Championship Mid-Atlantic version 2 times with Dick Slater and Manny Fernandez, the NWA World Television Championship 3 times, the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament in 1987 with Nikita Koloff, the Bunkhouse Stampede 1985 throughout 1988, the WCW Hall of Fame class of, he was inducted in 1995, the Pro Wrestling Federation in Florida, he won the PWF World Heavyweight Championship 1 time, in the NWA or the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA Hall of Fame class of 2011, he was inducted, the NWA Legends Hall of Heroes class of 2016, he was inducted. The NWA Big Time Wrestling, Rhodes won the NWA American Tag Team Championship 2 times with Baron Van Raschke 1 time and Dick Murdoch on 1 time. The NWA Brass Knuckles Championship in Texas 3 times. In the NWA San Francisco United States Heavyweight Championship, he won 1 time. And now in the NWA Tri-State, he won the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship 1 time. The NWA United States Tag Team Championship, Rhodes won, which was the Tri-State version. He won 1 time with Andre the Giant. The National Wrestling Federation, he was the NWA World Tag Team Championship on one occasion with Dick Murdoch. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's called the Greatest 18 Club Inductee. He was inducted. Let's look at Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He won the Feud of the Year 1987 with Nikita Koloff and the Road Warriors versus the Four Horsemen. The Match of the Year 1979 versus Harley Race on August 21. The Match of the Year once again in 1986 versus Ric Flair in a cage match at the Great American Bash. Most popular wrestler of the year, he was voted 1978, 1979, 1987. Stanley Weston Award 2013. The Wrestler of the Year 1977 and 1978. He was ranked number 193 of the top 500 wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2001. He was ranked number 11 of the top 500 wrestlers of PWI years in 2003. Rhodes was ranked number 76 and number 88 of the top 100 tag teams of the PWI years, with Magnum TA and Manny Fernandez, respectively, in 2003. Rhodes was inducted into the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum in the class of 2010. The World Championship Wrestling in Australia, he won the IWA World Tag Team Championship one time with Dick Murdoch. In World Wrestling Entertainment, called WWE, he was inducted to the class of 2007, the WWE Hall of Fame. Go and watch that particular ceremony. You will love it. It's phenomenal. He won the Slammy Award one time. Say what? That was the quote of the year of 2013. One stipulation: I'm in my boy's corner, and I'll be your huckleberry all night long. The WWE Bronze Statuette in 2016. Now, check this out. The Wrestling Observer Best Babyface, Rhodes was in 1980. Best Booker, 1986. Most Charismatic, 1982, tied with Ric Flair. Whoa, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. The Most Embarrassing Wrestler of 1990. Most Overrated Wrestler, 1987, 1988. Most Obnoxious Wrestler, 1988 to 1989. He was the reader's least favorite wrestler in 1987 and 1988. The worst feud of the year, 1988 versus Tully Blanchard. I disagree. The worst gimmick, 1988. Worst television announcer, 1997. Worst Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame class of 1996. This Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, while currently operating out of the same region of the United States and having revised some of the championships used by the original Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, is not the same promotion that was once owned by Jim Crockett Jr. and subsequently sold to Ted Turner in 1988. It is just another NWA affiliated promotion. So, if you'd like to find out more about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the autobiography entitled Dusty, Reflections of an American Dream, the year 2005, the ISBN number is 978-1-58261-9071. You can also get the DVD version, The American Dream, The Dusty Rhodes Story, 2006, from WWE Home Video. And there are also some video games. Runnels has appeared in the video games ECW Anarchy Rules, Showdown, Legends of Wrestling, SmackDown vs. Raw, 2007, WWE Legends of WrestleMania, SmackDown vs. Raw, 2010, WWE 2K17, WWE 2K18, and WWE 2K20 as a non-DLC character, and that also appeared in WWE 2K14, WWE 2K16, and WWE 2K19, which is downloadable content. There you have it. The one and only, the son of a plumber, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.